Steve, we've got the 3 English titles back to back starting in March, but before that we've got a lot of big news, serious news, such as Josh Warrington against Kid Galahad. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, as you say, we've got the English title fights on our own shows, but Josh Warrington actually went out to purse bids to fight Kid Galahad. Not the fight, being honest, that we wanted and Josh wanted, because we wanted unification fights, but the IBF has said we've got to have the mandatory or give the title up, which is a shame, because the likes of Oscar Valdez was willing to fight Josh in a unification fight, but just to fight him for his WBO didn't come to fruition. Santa Cruz, I believe, was approached and he doesn't want to fight Josh, so we was left in the situation where we've got to keep hold of the IBF belt, and the unifications can come after that. So it's not going to be a nice fight, is it, because of the style of Kid Galahad, but it's a very winnable fight for Josh. So our way now is let's deal with the hands we've got, and we've got Kid Galahad, we've got to keep the IBF to make sure we get the unification fights. Once we've got rid of him, we've got a good period of time where we can have the unification fights, and hopefully with holding the belt, it'll mean that the other champions are willing to fight Josh, and that's what we've got to look forward to now. So it's not the fight we wanted. Josh feels of him as being like a drug cheat, and he shouldn't have got the opportunity, and B, he's getting a lot of money, which obviously Josh doesn't feel he deserves, but it is what it is. It's the great saying in boxing, and we've just got to get on with it.
And any date on that?
The date, we're just waiting for Frank Warren to put it out now. He's won the purse bids. Obviously negotiations didn't happen because Eddie Hearn wanted that fight on Sky. He wanted not Kid Galahad on Sky. He obviously wanted to get Josh back on Sky, and he put a real big bid in to make that happen. Yeah. But Frank beat it, and it'll be on BT, and the date I think's got to be announced within the next 7 days. So we're cracking on with that now.
What happened with the Isaac Lowe scenario?
Isaac Lowe, well, I've managed Isaac from the start. He did have a blip where he asked for his contract back, and he went with Hennessy Sports and Peter Fury, and that went wrong for him, and he come back hand in cap, and I'd given him his contract back then. He was still under contract to me as a manager, and again he asked for his contract back because he'd been approached, or he had approached, I don't know which way it was, but MTK had offered him money which I wasn't paying him, and he wanted to go. So I've said to him, look, you can go, and we've not fell out about it, but I did make it clear that I'd done a lot of work to getting Isaac to where he was. He'd been a Commonwealth champion, he drew for the European title, he drew for the English title, and he drew for the British title. So I mean, I'd made a lot of opportunities for him, and unfortunately didn't win him and march on, but I kept getting the opportunities for him. So it is disappointing, but money talks, doesn't it? And he's been offered money which I can't pay him, and he's took the money and forgot about how we got there, because those other people weren't there helping him before. But it happens in boxing. Not fell out with him, but I have made it clear, if things do go wrong, I won't be having him back again, because loyalty's it is a big thing, isn't it? With certain people, and I do feel a little bit let down, but again I can understand why he's done it, and he went with me blessing, but he won't be coming back to VIP, that's for sure.
But some other big fights on some of the big shows. Scott Fitzgerald, and Fowler.
Yeah, it is a big fight, and it's a good fight. A lot of people have got Fowler running away with this, and I believe Scott's 5-1, but I see it as a 50-50 fight, and it's only a 50-50 fight because Scott's really not been performing at the level he's capable of that. But I think people are questioning why we've took this and why Anthony's took it early in the career. Anthony's got a great big self-belief in himself, and wants to march forward, and it's brave of him to fight Scott in I think it's only his ninth fight, and it's probably the same for us with us not performing as well as we could do. But I think this is the fight that's going to get Scott up for it, and from what I've seen of his training habits now to what there was before, he is up for it, and I think everyone's in for the treat. You know, to beat Anthony Fowler, I think the easiest way is movement, because he is a little bit flat-footed and he's been outboxing the amateurs. But I mean, I don't think Scott's going to do that because he punches as hard as Anthony, and I can just see it getting out into a bit of a shootout and seeing who wins. And it's a genuine 50-50 fight, and you know, I am looking forward to it, and expecting Scott to upset the apple cart on that one.
Yeah, cracking fight. I think he could steal the show.
Yeah,
on that night.
Do,
It's cracking show. The whole show is.
And he's getting a little bit of needle with him as well, which always helps out, doesn't it? You know, I mean, I've known Anthony probably as long as I've known Scott. I've helped him out with sparring. He's come down here with Carl Lamotte, who's been good friends, and he's a nice kid. But you know, when you see him on the Twitter, you'd think there's only Anthony who's ever fucking trained, wouldn't you? And nobody else has got a running machine but Anthony. So I can see how he winds a few people up. But you know, that's how he kind of thrives off, doesn't he? Telling everyone that he's the hardest trainer in the world, and it does mean a lot to him. So that's what he does. But you know, I think he's rubbed Scott up the wrong way, and hopefully that'll be for the good because he'll get Scott training even harder.
Yeah, definitely. On that same night, Tom Farrell against for the Commonwealth. Is it Phillip Bowes?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, Eddie did say he'd get Fazza the title on that show, and we noticed the other day when we was looking for an opponent, the Bowes had just won the Commonwealth at light welterweight. So we asked Eddie to see if he could get that for us, and within 24 hours he delivered. So you know, that's a great one, and you know, Fazza's had a bit of a tough time since the Wara Davies fight, but he has looked good in the fights he's had, and
he's had 3 fights since Wara Davies and stopped 2 of them against kids who don't normally get stopped.
That's right, yeah, and so really and truthfully, you know, he was a champion before, so it's good for him to come back and win a title.
Is he still having the warm-up on the 23rd?
Yeah, he's just going to have a warm-up on the 23rd, and then he's got another 5-6 weeks before the 30th, so everything hopefully be in place, and I expect a good performance off Fazza and to be a Commonwealth champion. And just going back onto the Fowler and Fitzgerald fight, I've been told now that's for the WBA International, so you know, at least there's a title on the line, and you know, the 2 kids were taking it without a title on the line, so you know, now there's a title on the line, it's more of a meaning fight for the pair of them.
Well, I think the big carrot on the end of the stick for that fight was the fact that they were going to fight Ted Cheeseman, but obviously since he's lost for the European, even though he's still a British champion, I think that's...
Well, you know what, the British title is something that most people want to win, and I know a lot of people go around the routes of winning a WBO European or the IBF International and missing out on it, but traditionally the Longsdale belt is the one to win, so certainly from Scott's behalf, and I would have thought Anthony's, but I can't say because I never spoke to him. I think they'd want to fight Cheeseman for the British as well, so I know it'd be nice to be fighting for the British and European, but I think they'll settle for the British because you know this fight's come a bit early for him to still be at British level at this stage of his career. He's sound, you know, another good experience. So
I mean, the defeat that Cheeseman suffered in that European title bid was a tough defeat, wasn't it?
It was, and it was at European level, so he might be looking at it and thinking, I'm still British champion. Fowler and Fitzgerald aren't European level, they're British level, and it's a good fight. So I don't think for 1 minute Cheeseman will be giving up to get away from fighting the winners of these 2.
And he's only 23, isn't he?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Youth is on his side. News about Teddy Flanagan?
Well, Teddy, we're hoping to get a date very soon. We haven't got one, so we're working on something. Whether it's just to bring back one fight or a more meaningful fight is the negotiations we're in at the moment. But he's back in the gym, he's looking well, he's refreshed, and he's determined that he wants to become a world champion again in 2019. So on Teddy, hopefully we'll give you the date within the next 3 to 5 days.
Right, thanks a lot, Steve.
Cheers.
See you later, mate. Bye.
Bye.